Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Heartslayers. This is your favorite dating and relationship podcast. We've just been crowned champions of dating and relationship podcasts.
It's true.
That's crazy, and let me tell you what. Baby, we're the best. We're going to be answering all of your questions when it comes to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your significant other, your wife, your mistress, your dog, your cat, that annoying neighbor down the street, the cute girl you work with, that annoying dude who hits on you all the time at the store, whoever is giving you relationship problems. You come to us and we'll sort it all out for you.
It's true.
You're here with Derrick.
And Meg.
Let's get it started. All right, everybody, we are here on the phone with Ozzy. Ozzy, you are talking to Meg and Derrick, the Heartslayers. What's happening?
Yo, not much. Just kind of calling in, had some relationship questions or just kind of interpersonal questions that I feel like I wanted to ask somebody and knew that you guys had Heartslayers here. And
Yeah, you've come to the right place. So what's going on?
So for a very kind of long story short, I recently have moved in temporarily with a friend that has been kind of intimate and then off intimate with, and just a lot of kind of history there. But what has culminated now into the reason that I'm calling is she's seeing a very abusive person in her life that forced her to move out of state and stuff like that again, and is very adamant that him as a person has changed, which, you know, I can only trust her kind of opinion on that. But she's entered into like a relationship with him and has talked about inviting me into like an open relationship status, and I don't know, it kind of like hurts that maybe I don't provide enough love, or that somebody else's love is more validating or titular in her life at the moment. And I don't know, I just kind of, what is your opinion on maybe like open relationships and
Okay.
I don't know, polyamory?
So, sounds like a
It's so much.
messy
I'm sorry.
situation. Just to
Yeah.
clarify, you moved in with somebody you'd been intimate with. You weren't exclusive. You weren't dating. It was more like a friends with benefits, on again, off again type situation.
To keep it brief, like we were partners. Like, this is somebody that we've discussed spending portions of our life together, and like, you know, this is somebody I would want to travel with or like want to do memorable life things, but I don't need to have like a definitive label on it or anything like that. But now that it's kind of being brought up in a way where it's an open relationship and there's other people, but only for her in a way, but I don't know.
Do you love this person?
I do. I have a lot of love for them, and it goes beyond a romantical love, and I feel like it's a very kind of just spiritual love. Like, I love a lot of what they are, and I love how they make me feel, and I have very strong image issues and stuff like that, and it's weird how somebody can kind of lift that veil for you. And I don't know.
How long have you guys been together?
It'll probably be about a year and a half, but we've been friends for probably about 3 years.
Okay. And so were you ever exclusive, or is this a new development, or were you kind of seeing other people the whole time?
More so, nothing like exclusive, but I was like, I wasn't actively seeing anybody, and, you know, I trust her immensely to the point where, you know, she's obviously talked to me about being in this open relationship. So I know that she's not actively trying to hide stuff. So to the extent that I know, yeah, for a moment we've been exclusive, but it was more so of a long distance exclusivity. So there wasn't like the intimacy there. It was more just dialogue and.
But now you live together?
And it's such a story. But yeah, for the next, and it was only for a month, and she's moving out on the 30th. With
okay. So you've only lived together for
boyfriend.
1 month. For 1 month.
Okay.
To add another layer, she lived in Virginia, and I live in Nebraska, and she got kicked out of her house that she was living in, and I invited her to stay here, and there's just been a whole other layer of interpersonal stuff with like my other roommate and stuff like that is just a whole can of worms. But
open it up. What's going on with your other roommate?
Essentially, I had described that the situation was she was going to be planning on moving to Nebraska to go to college and stuff like that, and we were going to pursue maybe just having a nice semi-exclusive relationship or something like that. And then it got pushed up about a month sooner than everything was supposed to be happening because of her parents. So I had disclosed that to my roommate, and he kind of did the whole, hey, that's cool right now, but as soon as it's actually happening, I'm not cool with it because this is all happening quicker than I expected. And I very much understand that. And I feel bad overall about just everybody's role in this kind of triangle. I feel like
Can I ask why she was kicked out from her house in Virginia?
Her mom has a new husband who is very particular about her lifestyle as a vegan, and kind of her, like, you know, if you're gonna live under this house, you're gonna eat the food that I make. And it's like, you know, she's a 22-year-old like woman, is a grown person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't need to be subjugated to that. So it was a thing where she was already planning to come here, and was given kind of this ultimatum of, you have to live by our rules, or you can't live here. And it was
Okay,
just like, well,
so
sorry.
hold on. We're gonna call her your girlfriend. Your girlfriend is a vegan. Your girlfriend's a vegan, and her mom married a guy who didn't approve of her eating habits.
Her mom is very kind of disconnected from her life, from my understanding. I've never met her parents. And
I've never heard of somebody being so anti-vegan.
Yeah,
like,
right.
kick someone out of
Eat
the
this
house.
hamburger or get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
The line gets drawn.
So that's like crazy that her mom would
Allow
side
some guy
with her new husband to
Yeah.
ostracize her from her own child over a diet.
Yeah.
Over eating
Oh my
a
God.
dietary habit.
And I'm sure too that there's maybe other things that accumulated between just living all together. But overall, that was a really big thing where she didn't want to give up her convictions as a vegan. And
Yeah.
Right.
Is she pissed at her mom?
I think they've talked loosely, but she moved here at the beginning of July, and that pretty much all happened June 29th.
Okay.
So it was all very,
Like 4 weeks ago?
very quick. And it all still feels very like it's just
Because I'd be
yesterday.
pissed off at my
Yeah,
mom.
oh my
I would
God.
Dude, I'd be so pissed.
I would be pissed off. I'd be
That's
like,
so
"What-
unfair."
What the fuck?
You're choosing some rando dude
Yeah, 'cause
over
I like
your
to
own
eat salad.
child. Because
I like to eat vegetables.
Yeah.
You're going to kick me out
Because
of
I want to
house.
save the planet.
The sentiment is so strong. Ugh.
Okay.
But-
All right. Well, so thanks for the background.
Yeah, sorry.
I have one more
Very-
background question.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yo,
what's up? There's a lot of background.
So you mentioned that she's moving in with an abusive guy. Where did she meet this guy?
That's what I was going to ask.
Ah.
Who's this new guy? Where'd he come from?
So he's a prior boyfriend that she was dating before me and her had met, and me and her met, and it was kind of like, hey, we're mutually interested in each other, and we're both interested in a lot of the same things, and we like hanging out. But she had just this, very overbearing boyfriend that she was with at the time, and then it accumulated into a kind of tip or like a week span where she like didn't leave her house and didn't show up to like work, which is where I'd met her, primarily because this guy was kind of like, you can't leave, you don't have any friends, I don't know why you're leaving, you don't have a job,
Oh my
it's
God.
stupid. Just very like weird gatekeeping, sociopathic fucking bullshit. But
She wouldn't go to work because he told her she didn't have a job.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of
Paraphrasing.
I'm paraphrasing, but I'm also a few high lives in. It's 6:19 here, so I've kind of
No
gotten
worries.
off work and.
That's
But
okay.
thank you.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, so he was essentially saying, like nobody at your job cares if you show up. Don't.
Oh,
Wow,
Don't worry
very
about it.
manipulative.
Because it was a bar, so she was just
Oh.
she was a waitress and I was a cook in the place. So it was kind of like a thing where he would always say, there's always somebody else who can do your job. You don't have to go. And she, I guess, really didn't leave her house outside of just taking her dog on a walk for about a week. And that when she was kind of saying, I'm done with this and I need to go and do something else, he pushed her against a wall and threatened her and all this stuff, which then made her not want to, but decide to just pretty much pack up all her stuff and move back to Virginia with her parents.
I see. So this was like a year and a
Understandably.
half ago?
This was probably, about
Maybe 2 years?
February of 2018.
Okay.
Okay, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So how did he get back in the picture recently?
So she came to, and it was very sporadic. She kind of just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come and visit people in Nebraska one random week," and did that. And there was this whole like, "Yo, we're gonna, obviously hang out and do stuff," but I knew that because she had been away for about a year and a half or so, that there would be like a vying for her time and stuff like that, because she had other friends and prior engagements before me and her were ever like a thing. And I think that is a thing that I have an issue with, is like time allotment and understanding that obviously like people need space and stuff like that. But so this guy essentially is a cousin of one of her best friends, and one night when they were hanging out, they just were at a party or something, and he came over and they started talking, and it became a like, oh, he's so much different than I remember, and he's a lot nicer and he seems a lot calmer and all of this stuff. And that sounds like, to me, as somebody who is like an outside looking in, like what a manipulator or an abuser would want you to think of them if you
Yeah.
wanted to
That's
get you back
sus.
into that space.
Very
It's pretty
sus.
fucking sus. Thank you, Derrick. God.
Yeah.
So I had brought that to her attention, and she had kind of staunchly said, I've been hearing it from a lot of people, and I don't appreciate it hearing it from you, somebody that I would assume just respects my privacy and my space and stuff like that. And then it accumulated to this point where it's like, or not where it's like, but she had said this thing that really stuck with me, where it was, if you can't be like respectful of my like privacy and my decisions and what I want to do with my life, then I feel like obviously you shouldn't be in my life. And it was so weird to kind of have this person that I felt like I really known and built like a connection with, and had invited into my home, you know, obviously rent free because I don't care. It's totally fine and it's covered. But it was just a thing where I was really just trying to help like a friend, and I feel like there was a weird connotation added to it by maybe her or like other people from the outside into, well, why is this guy doing this and not expecting anything? And then I just feel like it's all accumulated into pushing her further away from me, who's not abusive, into this guy who is abusive, which is a super fucking lame thing to say. But I don't know. I'm just
Okay. Yeah.
word
So
souping it.
so now, I mean, I feel like we're getting close to the end of the story here, but where?
Yeah.
So she wants to go live with this guy.
So she actively is on the 1st of August moving in with this guy, and
That's in like 2 days.
Yep.
Oh my
yep.
God.
Yeah.
And are they
so
going to
this
live
is
in the
like-
same town as you?
Yeah, they're living about 5 blocks away from me, and she expects me to like still come over and cook and stuff because we usually will like cook vegan meals, and this dude isn't even vegan, and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh Jesus! And now,
Wow.
and so, let me get a little personal here. But are you guys like
Yeah.
intimate? Are you guys like hooking up? Are you affectionate with each other? Is this a physical relationship?
We're mostly like communicative and very like kind of like, you know, this is just somebody that I want to do stuff with. But when she did come here on like the 20th, we had hooked up like a couple of times, and then it got kind of weird because she was definitely like more so the instigator of it. And we've talked about that exclusively, and how about I feel like I'm just a type of person who can't separate maybe sex from emotion, and that is something that she is able to do, which is totally fine, but is a thing where we've even been intimate within the last like 3 or 4 days, and it kind of got me in a weird funk where it's like, so now am I in this open relationship, and because now me being in this open relationship, do I have to love this other guy that she's with who was her prior abuser?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I can't do that, and I don't even want to go over to her house when she moves in because I don't want to fucking know this guy, and I don't care how much. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
She thinks he's changed, but it's a thing where the only capacity of his existence that I know is him being terrible.
Right, right.
Well,
I don't know.
Doesn't sound like. All right. So you asked what our opinion is on all this.
On open relationships,
On open
or just all of this.
Okay.
Okay, well, not to, we'll speak about open relationships generally and then maybe work our way towards your situation.
Okay.
You
you.
I think open relationships work for certain types of people
Yeah.
in certain situations, but generally they open the door for a lot of messiness.
Oh my God.
And,
Yeah.
and oftentimes I think that they lead to the ruination of a relationship. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of
Jealousy.
room for jealousy, room for, I guess just room for jealousy and insecurity.
Oh yeah. Because it's like, why is she spending more time with him and not with me?
And I hate that I feel that way too. I'm really,
Yeah.
it hurts that I feel that way because I don't feel like I should.
Or maybe you think like, what does she see in this? How could she like me and like this guy when we're so different? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
is she, what is she attracted to? What does she like about this guy?
Mm-hmm.
He's nothing like me.
Yeah.
If she likes me, how could she like somebody who's the opposite of me?
Yeah.
Which leads to all these questions. For certain people, I think open relationships can work. Especially if the people involved are very confident and sure of themselves and have
Right.
a deep understanding of one another, of we love each other and we want to be together, but, we still feel attracted to other people, and we feel, we agree that just because we want to be physical with other people doesn't mean that we want to not have and share what we have in this relationship. I've heard of relationships like that working out.
Yeah.
But is that this relationship? Is this your relationship, Ozzy? I don't think so, based on what you've told us.
I don't know, and it's like I thought I heard an echo. Sorry if I'm echoing.
No.
I don't know. I feel like it is. Like I want to say that it is my relationship because I'm like 26 and it's cliche to say like, oh, I've dated all the people. But it really is kind of weird how every relationship kind of can be a little bit more of a clearer look on what is wrong with a lot of your expectations or just ideas on what relationships are, and then I don't know, you kind of like fester on it, and then you start looking at yourself like negatively, and it just becomes this whole kind of almost
a
like
relationship
misanthropic
shouldn't make that happen. Like the longer you're in a relationship or the more relationships you have, you should be growing and learning what
and I feel like
you
this
seek in a better relationship.
And I feel like this was the one relationship when it had started that I was able to look at myself in the mirror and like the person that I was seeing and look at things that I was doing as like hey, this is something that is it's weird. It's almost like having somebody say that they loved me and found value in what I was doing helped me see it clearer.
You know what I think? I think the other guy probably doesn't want to be in an open relationship either.
Right. I mean, he's making her move in with him.
Yeah, just everything you've told me sounds like he's very controlling and really wants to isolate her from other people. So I can't see him being cool with her dating both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah.
But also,
and that's where,
not to be rude, Ozzy, but I wonder if she even considers you her boyfriend.
Yeah, me.
Or if you're just more of a friend that she hooks up with every once in a while and she wants to be with this other guy, but still,
also with you on the
have
side,
her cake and eat it too, but not really commit to either one of you.
Yeah.
Totally.
I definitely relate with kind of that idea as to more of her growth and personal experience, but equally I don't want to like devalue that by saying like oh, that's dumb or something like that. But I'm finding myself asking the question, should I remove myself from our relationship and friendship as an entirety? Because I don't know, I think about like existing in a space where we're like not even really friends but like acquaintances, and I don't know if I want that really either.
Yeah. I think maybe you should just take a break from seeing this girl for a little while. It seems like she wants to explore a relationship with this ex-boyfriend of hers, and it doesn't sound like that's something that you want to be a part of. So maybe instead of
I don't think I can.
Yeah, instead of just trying to force your way into it and going along with it and going along with whatever she wants, let her do her thing. Give her some space. Yeah. And maybe you could take some time off from seeing her to figure out what you really want. Maybe in a week or two or 3 or a month. You'll realize, I really miss her. And if she wants to be with that guy but still spend some time with me, that's something I can be okay with. But I think right now it sounds like you're not ready to do that. And so I wouldn't try to force it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Meg, I don't know if you have your own opinion on it.
I agree completely, because you have to realize what her being with this guy is going to make you feel. And if it's a super negative feeling, you're going to bring those negative feelings into the friendship relationship that you already have with her. And that could cause some arguments because she's clearly upset whenever you bring up that maybe he hasn't changed. So
yeah, sometimes relationships just don't work out, and it has nothing to do with not caring about the person or not loving the person.
Right.
It's more just the situation won't allow for the relationship to thrive. Even though you guys really care about each other, you may even love each other, it still doesn't mean you have a good relationship.
Yeah, and like Derrick said, open relationship isn't for everybody.
Yeah,
So
definitely
even
not.
flirting with the idea, it sounds like you're not super comfortable with it, or at least her seeing this guy. So maybe her just an open relationship with her right now isn't in the cards for you.
I've definitely loved people that I had to break up with, and I broke
Yeah.
up with people that I loved because the relationship wasn't working. And it had nothing to do with the fact that we didn't care about each other. It was that we were unhappy. You know, you can love somebody and they fucking drive you nuts. And it's unhealthy mentally. And you can't stay you can't stay in that situation because it just becomes like abusive and weird and toxic, and the love becomes this weird manipulative thing where it's like, I hate this person, I hate my life, I hate what I'm doing, but I love them. So I'm gonna keep myself in this awful, shitty, emotionally damaging relationship, you know, because you just feel this strange attachment to them. And it gets to the point where you have to say, like, I don't give a fuck what my heart is telling me. Whatever. I love them. So what? This sucks.
Yeah.
I love them and it sucks.
Exactly.
And I need to get out of here. And I love you, but this sucks and I got to get out of here. And that kind of allows for some clarity, you know, to realize, like, it's not that I hate the person. It's that I didn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, damn, that is, I feel like that's what I needed to hear. And, oof.
All right. Well, we wish you the best, Ozzy, and we really appreciate you sharing all of your story with us. And if you want
thank you so much.
Call us back and let us know how it all works out, feel free to give us an update sometime.
Yeah, is it Mondays for
Mondays
taking
at
calls?
4.
Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Awesome, cool. Thank you guys so much. Love you, Derek and Meg. Hope you guys have a good night.
Thanks.
You too.
Good luck. All right, everybody. We are here on the phone now with Leo. Leo, you were talking to Derek and Meg, the Heartslayers. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I have like a kind of a saga here. I got this girl in my head. She's messing with the wires. I need the Heartslayers to come put up. Basically, I dated this girl a long time ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And after many years of not talking to her, she hit me up. This is about a year ago. And, you know, she asked me to meet up for coffee, and I rejected her. And, you know, I'm in a bit of a different position now. I've been kind of seeing other people. I've been thinking about this girl. She's stuck in my head. And, you know, I've been thinking maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I should have, you know, accepted that coffee. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, but I'm hoping to get a determination on whether or not I should have done that, or maybe I should hit her up now, or if I made the right call on following my gut.
Okay. So you dated 5 or 6 years ago. She hit you up for coffee. How long ago did she hit you up for coffee?
Well, she hit me up about like 6 months before that. So she was, in retrospect, she was totally feeling me out. She kind of tested the waters a bit for a while. And then she finally led up to the coffee. Now, what kind of raised the flags for me, and I'm kind of a weird guy, I'm pretty neurotic, but you know, what she did was she put the coffee out there really casually, but it felt really set up. It felt like she had really been working this whole time. She had been leading up to the coffee thing, and she was trying to pass it off as if, you know, it was super casual, which probably makes sense. But in my mind, that started raising all these flags, and I started getting tripped up on it. So, you know, I'm not sure if I'm projecting onto her, you know, my own insecurities or kind of things that have happened with other girls.
But how long ago did she ask you out for coffee?
About 6 months ago.
Oh, that's just 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't spoken in 6 months.
No, well, I basically told her to fuck off. Like, I wasn't mean about it.
It's a
but
little
like,
harsh.
What did you say?
Well, I didn't say that. Basically, what I said was, I moved on with my life, and, you know, I don't think it's in my interest to meet up with you. That's what I said. And then, you know, I have a way of, like, using the truth as, like, unintentionally as, like, a blunt instrument.
Jeez.
I definitely do that. And that was wrong. I feel bad about it, honestly.
So,
that's kind of
all right.
why I'm hitting you guys up.
5 or 6 years ago, you guys dated. How long did you date for?
We did it for like a year to a year and a half.
And, okay. How old were you guys when you dated?
Young. We were like 20.
Okay. And why did you break up back then?
Well, see, that complicates it. So we started off living close together, but then she moved away. The end of the relationship moved into like a long distance thing, and then it just fell apart.
Did she move
Long
away
distance.
for school or work?
Yeah, for school.
Okay.
Okay.
She went away to college or something, or
Yeah. She was back for a little bit, and then she went back to a different school. So
Oh.
basically, I was in the back of my head, I was kind of like, I didn't want to manipulate her, but I was kind of hoping like, oh well, she's gonna really like me, and then she's gonna like leave this school and come hang out with me, and it was just a fantasy. It was never gonna with the long distance. But that's kind of what in the back of my head, I always kind of thought like, oh well, if it wasn't long distance, like what would have happened? Like maybe this could have worked out.
So she moved away, and that's it. She didn't like find a new boyfriend or anything like that. She's just the distance was too much for you guys.
Yeah, there wasn't like, it was just kind of slowly deteriorated. Like there was so much pressure on those few times where we would meet up that it got uncomfortable. We started getting into arguments. We never had arguments, and we started getting into fights, and
Okay.
yeah, it just wasn't working.
So then 6 months ago, what? She moved back into town. She's suddenly close again.
I haven't been keeping up with her. Well, this is a funny thing though, and this also raised a lot of my flags, which is, I don't really know what happened to her over the last few years, but I scoped out her Facebook, and she looks like she went off the deep end to some extent. She cut off all her hair and got face piercings. And I'm not really about that, Although this person says that they indicate that they care about me, or else why would they hit me up?
Yeah.
But I don't really know what's going on with her personal life or her love life. And based on her interactions, it sounded like it wasn't going so well for her. And that also made me feel like, hey, maybe this girl is only hitting me up because things aren't going so well for her. Maybe she's not really getting that attention. And I definitely have a huge phobia of being used for attention or validation, because that's definitely happened to me. So
okay. But
I don't.
She lives
Sorry,
close
what?
to you now, though, right?
Yeah. We live in the exact same area. Yeah, we're close.
All right. So, what did you have going on 6 months ago? You said you moved on with your life. Did you have a girlfriend or something, or were you not single when she asked to go get coffee?
I wasn't in any. I have no obligations or relationships at the time or now. I see people, but I didn't have a commitment or anything. So it was definitely if I wanted to, there were no real issues. And for some reason, I feel like if she had just been hey, you want to meet for coffee? I probably would have been, yeah. But it was really the whole thing put together that really made me question.
What was this build-up she did? Did she say hi and then slowly just kept messaging you, building up towards coffee?
Okay, so what she did was she said hi. I actually kind of made fun of her. I'm like, oh, you're just hitting me up because you got nothing going on, and she was kind of like, yeah. So it was sort of like that, but then she started texting me pictures of albums we used to listen to, and I used to play some instruments, songs I would play for her. She messaged me at a concert for a band that was kind of important for us, and she's like, oh, are you here right now? And it just felt weird, why would you expect the fact that you're asking me if I'm at this concert for a band that we liked, many years ago, and you just kind of expect me to be there, and you expect me to meet up with you.
She was
all on the spot.
She was
It's
flirting
pretty
with
weird.
you. She's
Yeah.
Of
flirting
course,
with you.
yes, I know she's flirting with me, but my concern is, I feel if I had played it cool, obviously, I feel like something would have happened. Maybe not romantically. I don't know. The thing about this girl is that I feel like she's the kind of girl who wants what she can't have, or the thing that's way over there always it looks more attractive to her. I remember when I first got with this girl way back in the day. One of the main reasons why we got together was because she was a friend of a friend, and I introduced her to a whole bunch of people, and every single dude that I introduced her to added her on Facebook and tried to get her number and tried to pick her up, and I was the only guy who didn't do that. And she reached out to me, and she said that was one of the main reasons why she was interested in me in the first place. So I feel like all this time has maybe built up in her a false image or an idea of me.
Okay.
And as soon as my worry is mainly that if I was to go meet up with this girl, that as soon as, you know, we got back into like a familiar territory, that she would then like kind of pull the rug out from under me. And, you know, I know myself, and like, you know, if she starts flirting with me, like you know, I'm in, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't have the greatest self-control, but, you know, I feel like this girl might, I don't know, I just have that experience. You know, what do you think?
So, all right, let me ask you, what would be the problem with just meeting up with her for coffee, going in with this knowledge and expectation, like, okay, maybe she's lonely, maybe she misses me, she wants to get coffee, we'll just get coffee.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. If she ends up disappearing, that's what she does.
No big deal, you had coffee.
Like, you expect that, like, she does what you expected. Why can't you go in and not get emotionally attached, you know, knowing what you know?
Well, because it's not really the attachment, it's more like the embarrassment. Like, I feel like it would start there, sure, but then she's gonna, I'm really worried that she would start really laying down the flirtation, you know, like, because I had this experience with her after we broke up. We were in contact for, and, you know, she would be very, very hands-on, flirty, very, very, you know, romantic and stuff. Yeah. And then as soon as I respond positively, then it's like, oh, you're being weird. This isn't cool. You know, and I find that to be so
does that piss you off?
I know. Yes, it does. And it's happened to me so many times with so many people. Like,
I get the impression, just listening to everything you've said, that for under the surface, this girl pisses you off.
Yeah, I think she does, dude.
I'm picking up on like some subtle like anger towards this ex-girlfriend of yours.
Well, I normally don't let these kind of things get to me. It's like this one girl, dude. Like this only girl, she just can't get out of my head, you know. And that's really what pisses me off.
Because it's like, hey, you want to get coffee? And it's like, fuck no.
Yeah,
bitch, I moved on with my life, and then you're here like,
I should have gotten coffee.
Maybe I should have got coffee with her.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, she's flirty with me. Bitch.
You think you have the right to like me?
You're flirting with me, and I like it. Now you're gone. Fuck you. That's
exactly.
I mean, I don't want to make fun of you. I'm not trying. I'm just teasing you a little bit, but this is the vibe I'm picking up. This is the vibe you're putting out. So
yeah. Well, I think it's totally true, but I feel like hate and love, they're sort of similar. I don't know. Sometimes I can't decide
thin line between
if I
love
hate
and
this
hate.
girl or if I love her. You know?
Oh yeah.
So, I think, you know, honestly, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've had girlfriends that I fucking hated. After we were on again, off again, and, you know, it'd always be like, "Oh, you're messaging me." Psh.
Fuck off.
Yeah, but then we'd go hang out, and then
it's like, oh god,
start getting romantic again. Then we drive each other crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You know, I think it's probably for the best that you didn't go meet up for coffee. It was already 6 months ago. You're wondering now, like, should you hit her up? Why are you suddenly interested in her? That's my question. What's going on?
I don't know. I've been seeing some other girls, and like, I feel like sometimes when I'm with them, like, I'm just like, this is, you know, maybe this isn't as good as it would have been if, you know, maybe I'm in a worse situation than I would have been if I had just gone on with this other girl, you know, from the past. Maybe that's.
You're kind of self-sabotaging, aren't you?
Yeah, you know, I can say that. Yeah.
I think
that wouldn't be out of character.
That happens sometimes. The guy's like, I got a girlfriend. She's great. I like her.
But what if?
Remember that girl 6 months ago that wanted to date me? Maybe I should hit her up right now.
Shit, see what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too attached to my current girlfriend who's great.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I can go see the crazy girl for a little while.
If you already have red flags,
crazy, for sure.
I wouldn't even bother. If there's so many red flags that you already shot her down once, like, just forget about it.
I think that this is a case of the grass is always greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You may actually be guilty of the thing you accuse her of, which is wanting the person who's not available. And when she is available and asks you out, you're like, sorry, moved on with my life. And 6 months later, it's like, oh, she hasn't contacted me, maybe I should rekindle this flame and see if she's still interested.
Yeah, and you don't even really know her intention. She might have been flirting, and you could have been, like, maybe misinterpreting the flirt. Who knows?
Yeah. And some girls, too, like, they like you and they love having you in their life, and they even are romantically attracted to you. Except if you like them too much. And then it's like, whoa, no commitments here. I just like you as if you're just an amazing friend. I'm kind of attracted to you. But, you know, it's like wishy-washy stuff. Can drive you nuts. And guys are like that, too, honestly. I don't want to throw girls under the bus here, but...
Yeah, I think what was maybe so disappointing about it was that... you know, kind of when we stopped talking, you know, I sort of I just knew in my gut, I'm like, well, this isn't the last I heard of this girl. Like, she's going to hit me up. And then I kind of anticipated, like, oh, well, when she hits me up, I'm going to, you know, we're going to fall into it again. And then when it happened, I was like, it was so, like, not what I was anticipating that, like, maybe, I think that also threw me off, too. But I think you're right in that, I definitely am probably accusing her of, like, what I think. You know, I think we all kind of do that. So I think that's a good analysis.
Yeah, maybe, you know, I would say if you want, I think you could pursue a friendship with your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I don't know how serious you are with the girl you're currently dating, but I don't know. There's just something, you know what this sounds like, honestly? It sounds like a relationship that never got closure. And so the wound is still, even after all these years, it's still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't healed over. I think you still have a lot of unresolved emotions about your original breakup with this girl. That's what it sounds like to me. And so when she asks you to meet up for coffee, maybe all that resentment comes up of like, why now after all these years? Like, why not back then? How come I wasn't good enough back then to, you know, be with, and now suddenly you want to pursue me and you're angry at her. But then at the same time, when she starts drifting away, it's like, wait, no.
I'm not done.
Yeah, you still like me. Don't I like that you're attracted to me. Like, you know, this relationship isn't completely dead yet, right? Just sounds like you have some unresolved issues with this girl. Maybe the best thing to do is just ignore it and put it out of your head. Or maybe the best thing to do is to go get that cup of coffee and confront it and get some closure of this on this relationship and be like, you know what? I feel like I'm still hung up on how we broke up 5 years ago. And it, even after all this time, it still like messes with my head. Like, what do you think's going on here? Why are you flirting with me now?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on between us?
Yeah, well, I basically asked her that, and like she just wouldn't give me an answer. You know, really, was what it came down to. I feel like if she had just, I mean, I literally asked her like, so you know, what's going on here? You know, I don't remember exactly what I said. This was a while ago, but you know, I basically, you know, asked her that very question, and she gave me an answer that was like what I had said. I think I said something like, you know, if you had said this, then I would be more, you know, I would have less apprehension about meeting up with you. And then she just kind of copy pasted what I said. So, you know, I thought it was clever, but it felt a little too, you know, crafty. I don't know.
You know what? It's been 6 months. Don't go for it.
Exactly. I feel like the window is closed.
The window's closed. It's over and done with.
Okay.
It's totally natural every once in a while to think about like your ex and think like, what if, you know, this event went this way instead of that way? What if on this one night we did this instead of that?
Yeah.
Everybody feels that way, but it's irrelevant, you know, like just the past is the past. And sometimes it's better. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was pretty over her. Like I wasn't even thinking about her for years. And then it was just when she kind of slipped back in here trying to make something happen, that's when I was like, oh.
Yeah. Time heals all wounds. It's only been 6 months since that event. Just give it more time. And, you know, I'm sure even for years, every once in a while, you'll think about this girl, but that doesn't mean you got to hit her up and, you know, try to reconnect. Just be happy for the relationship you had. But, you know, it's over and you can learn from it and grow from it and have a much better relationship with somebody else moving forward.
Cool. Well, that's what I originally decided, and it's good to see that I was on the right track, I guess.
Yeah.
Totally. That's the right path. All right. Well, we thank you for the call, Leo.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care, man. See ya. Okay, everybody, we are going to take an email now. If you have a question, you can email Heartslayers at mega64.com.
That's it.
I haven't emailed us, so I forget the email.
Yeah, that's true.
This one comes from a viewer who goes by the letter S, and it's titled, Girlfriend Constantly Stressed Out. Hey, Heartslayers.
Hi.
Usually I would call in for this, but my girlfriend and I are living together for the summer. There isn't really a window for me to do so in private, so here we go. We're both 20 and have been together for 2 years. We met in college, and she has since transferred to another school in my hometown about an hour and a half away. After spending 1 school year apart, she eventually convinced me to try and transfer to be with her. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't comfortable with this, but I went for it anyway. The transfer process fell through, and I was fortunate enough to weasel my way back into my old school for this upcoming fall. This sets up a good background for what I've been feeling lately. I love my girlfriend, and we really are good together for the most part, but there is one thing that sets us apart. She's the type to worry constantly, whereas I usually try to go with the flow, while still keeping up my grades, of course. At first, I thought this would be good. She worries about the little things while I try to keep us in the moment, which is starting to feel impossible. As we approach the second half of undergrad, though, things have taken a turn for the worse. Both of us are pursuing law school within the next 2 years, and stress surrounding this has taken over her whole life. She constantly freaks out about how she might not get in, the stress of school in general, finances, and just about every other aspect of her life. I try to be supportive, but it's starting to become all we talk about. I feel myself getting sick of being around her. Us having to be apart again for another year or two now is also becoming a huge problem for her. I'm in no rush to jump into my career, and I honestly don't have that much trouble with the distance, but it almost seems like she does everything she can to remind me how stressed I should be. I know that relationship shouldn't be this way, and I've seriously been considering breaking up for some time now. What should I do? Thanks, S.
That's a lot.
So
That stressed me out.
I'm stressed out for you. They're living together right now for
They're
the summer,
in law school.
pursuing law school, but starting this fall, they're going to be going to different schools about an hour and a half away from each other.
Okay.
And this is really stressing out his girlfriend, and he's going with the flow. He's like, it's going to be fine. And she's like, why don't you care?
Yeah.
Does this freak you out? And he's like,
Be stressed with me.
yo, maybe I should dump this chick. What's going on here?
Yeah, but when you start to think about breaking up with someone, when that idea gets planted in your head, it's really hard to get rid of that.
Yeah, especially when the person you're with starts exhibiting character flaws that go against you, like on a fundamental level.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're always stressed. I don't want to be stressed. You want me to be stressed. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be living an hour and a half apart in about a month.
So it's kind of starts to become like, well, what's the point here?
Yeah.
Yikes.
They've been together for
2 years.
It might be the end of the road for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I
hate
mean,
to say it, but
realistically, I don't know if you've thought about your future with her, because if you think about it, like 5 years down the road, say you're both done with law school, you're both lawyers.
yeah.
Is she going to constantly be stressing out about cases while you're just like relaxing?
Yeah.
Or is she going to be pressuring you to be stressed about your job or stressed about any other daily life things? And it's just going to get to a breaking point with you to where you're constantly going to be butting heads.
I agree with everything Meg has said, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to give the advice that you should break up, even though you are starting to wonder if maybe you should.
Right.
Everybody has doubts now and again in their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, is this going to work out? I don't know. I say just take it day by day, stay positive, and just tell your girlfriend, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're going over here. I'm going over there. We're going to be 90 minutes apart. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're going to date each other. We're going to continue to be together. It's going to be okay. Just tell her like not to worry. Maybe when she's pressuring you to be more stressed out, you should pressure her back to be less stressed out.
Exactly.
And she's like, why aren't you freaking out? And you're like, because it's going to be fucking fine. Relax.
I'll be real. I have to have these conversations pretty frequently.
Really?
Yes.
Are you the it's gonna be fine, relaxed person?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. As stressed as I get sometimes, I am always having to tell my boyfriend, who's a fucking ball of stress all the time, like, hey, what is stressing about it gonna change anything? It's not. It's not gonna change anything.
Yeah, totally. And that's
So-
like a fundamental truth of life.
Yeah.
Situations suck, but you don't have to let them get you down because that's not gonna make it any better.
Yeah.
You know, oh, sorry. My phone's ringing.
Always. At least once an episode.
Gotta silence that. Here's the deal. My phone is not silenced. All right. Sorry, everybody.
It is okay.
Holy shit.
Anyway,
Get straight up
this is stressing me out.
decline that. Okay. So, a bad situation happens. You can either feel miserable about it and get depressed and get stressed out, or you could say, yeah, that sucks, but you know, it is what it is. The situation's not going to change.
No.
You guys are going to be living an hour and a half apart from each other, whether you're upset about it or not.
Yeah, I mean, of course, distance is upsetting.
Yeah.
But again, that distance will close once you're done with school,
Yeah.
as long as you don't break up.
And you could spend all day being like, oh, this sucks. What are we going to do? I'm freaking miserable. You're still going to
Yeah.
have to go through with
The
it.
point is, it's not going to change
Yeah.
anything.
Or you can be like, yeah, you know, it's tough. I mean, we're going to see each other like on the weekends and whenever we have a chance. But hey, I love you. And to me, it's worth it.
Exactly.
No matter how far away you are, we're still going to be together. Don't stress about it.
Yeah. So I think just assuring her that her stress is really unnecessary, and even just saying like, hey, it's not really fair that you're trying to point out why I should be stressed.
Yeah.
Because again, that's not part of your personality or your character. So her trying to force stress on you is super unfair.
Now, the fact that you're thinking about breaking up, maybe that's something significant. And maybe you need to bring that up to your girlfriend who is already overly stressed out.
Yeah.
You know, because it might get to the situation where you guys are just wrong for each other. Like maybe you don't want to be with somebody who stresses out that much. But maybe, just maybe, if you talk to her about it, she can realize that she's having like a negative effect on you and it's affecting the relationship. And she could kind of reel it back a little bit.
Yeah,
and
maybe
be
she'll
like,
chill out.
Listen, honey. I wouldn't say that, but just be like, babe, listen. We're going to be going to separate schools in fall. That's something that's unavoidable. The level of stress that you are bringing to this relationship about this situation is not good because
Yeah.
it's making me wonder, like, is this relationship going to fall apart because of the distance? And I really don't want it to.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, please, like, let's stay positive and let's try to make this work because the way you're acting now is making me think that you think that the relationship is not going to work out. And then
Yeah.
that makes me doubt the relationship and it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
So maybe if you tell her that, she'll be like, oh, maybe I should
Wait a
chill out a
second.
little bit.
Yeah, I think positivity is a big component of this.
Yeah.
Because only being negative, only stressing out about all the negative things in your life is only going to bring negativity to you. So
Positivity and open communication.
Oh, yeah.
Being real.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's our advice to you, S, and hope it all works out for you.
Good luck.
Good luck. Okay, everybody, that's our episode for today. We want to thank you all for watching, and a big thank you to all of our callers and emailers. If you want to contact the Heartslayers, you can call us on our Discord, bit.ly/Heartslayers, every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can also email us at heartslayers@mega64.com.
Keep those emails short.
Please. The shorter ones get priority over
Yeah.
the longer ones. You can follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and where you get all of your podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all the rest. Just look up Heartslayers. You can follow us individually. I am on Twitter at Gustavo, and I am on Instagram at Derrick Acosta only.
And I'm at Furnace Woods on both.
That's right. And if you want to get access to Heartslayers episodes 1 to 2 weeks early, become a Patreon supporter. Mega64.com/Patreon. For just $1, you get early access to all the Heartslayers episodes. Big thank you to everybody who leaves comments on the YouTube page, As always, if you have your own take on any of today's situations, feel free to leave a comment because we love what all the little Heartslayers have to say. We will be back in just 1 week to solve more of your problems and more of your issues, so we hope you join us again. Until next time, take care of yourselves. We love you. We are the Heartslayers, the champions of dating and relationship podcasts.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
Bye.